Is the Earth flat? Is there an entrance to Middle Earth and Antarctica? These are all things that we know to be true, but here are some of the things that people think are true, but they're completely wrong. Reaction video.
Breakfast is the most important meal of the day.
Before he even says anything, I know this. Sorry for stopping 1 second into the video, but I actually know this because if you fast, that actually burns a lot of fat. That's how your fat starts getting, because when you don't eat, that's when your body starts actually burning fat rather than whatever gets burned quickly, which is glucose, which is sugar.
You've heard it your whole life. Breakfast is the most important meal of the
What
day.
is this animation? This animation's kind of bones for a video that has this many views, but whatever. I'm not sorry for complaining.
Sounds like a golden rule of health, right?
Uh-huh.
Nope. That line didn't come from some groundbreaking medical discovery. It came from marketing. Back in the late 18...
That's pretty smart marketing because that's literally what I grew up knowing. Literally in TV shows like Adventure Time, bro, I would grow up and they'd be like, "Did you have your breakfast? You gotta eat your protein." So put that clip up, Gabe.
Let's chase after him.
You gotta eat your breakfast, man. You need that protein. Helps your brain.
1800s, a guy named John Harvey Kellogg, aka the Cornflakes guy.
Yo, I bought my first car off of them. No joke. No joke, I bought my first car off of them.
Started pushing breakfast hard. Then in the 1900s, food companies ran with it because they were selling cereal by calling it essential. It worked so well that now people think skipping breakfast is practically a crime.
Oh, I get it. Because he's breaking the rule of eating breakfast, and this, as a police officer, this is obviously not a real situation because there would never be a police officer making sure you didn't eat breakfast. Usually it would be more of like your parents saying, "Oh, you gotta eat breakfast. It's the most important meal of the day." But secretly, according to this video, it's not.
But here's the truth. Science doesn't back this up. Eating breakfast isn't a magical key to weight loss, better focus, or a longer life. Studies show what really matters is your overall diet and lifestyle, not whether you ate eggs at 8 a.m. Some people genuinely feel great eating first thing in the morning. Others feel sluggish and prefer to wait. Intermittent...
I do feel that even kind of. Sometimes, like, I'll get up in the morning, I'll have a lot of energy, and then I'll have, like, every morning I have a smoothie for breakfast. So I'll have a smoothie, and I'll just have no energy or anything. I'll just want to, like, lay in bed.
Fasting is literally the act of entirely skipping breakfast, and lots of people around the world thrive on that. Your body runs on energy from the food you've eaten over time, not the clock. If you're hungry in the morning, eat. If not, then just skip it. Camels store water in their humps. Everyone pictures camels as walking canteens.
Then where do they store it?
Water in those big humps on their backs. Sounds logical, right? A
Yes.
desert animal, a giant hump, must be a water tank.
Exactly.
But here's the reality. Those humps are made of fat.
Why would they lie about that?
Not water. Camels store up to 80 pounds of fat in there, and that's their energy reserve. It's like their portable snack bar. When food is scarce.
So they store fat instead of water because, as I said earlier, fat gets burned when you haven't eaten. Oh.
They burn that fat to survive. So if the hump is fat and not water, where does the water thing come from? Camels are just insanely good at managing hydration. They can drink an unbelievable amount when they find water, up to 40 gallons in one go.
It's 40 gallons? That's so much heavy. Dude, I can drink like a quarter of a gallon at one sitting. That's crazy talk.
For weeks without another sip. Their bodies are masters of conservation. Their red blood cells are oval-shaped, so blood keeps flowing even when water is low. And they can let their body temperature fluctuate so they don't sweat as much. They're built for desert survival. But water in the hump? That's pure Hollywood fantasy. Humans only have
Why did they lie about that? Why did they lie about water being in the hump? Was it just someone who would be like, "Yo, we should troll these people"?
You've probably heard this since kindergarten. Humans have 5 senses: sight, hearing, smell, taste, and touch.
And the sixth one that no one knows about except for me.
It's normal, right? But it's way off. The idea of 5 senses goes all the way back to Aristotle, and we've just been repeating it ever since. In reality, scientists have identified at least 9 senses, and some say over 20.
They figured out the sixth one that I know about?
On top of the big 5, you've got balance, called the vestibular sense, which keeps you from falling over every time you stand up. Then there's proprioception.
This is the one I knew about, proprioception. How did they figure out about this? I thought I was the only one who knew it.
Your body's awareness of where your limbs are without looking. Ever
Yes,
touch your nose with your eyes closed? That's
how did they figure out my secret?
proprioception. You also have thermoception, sensing heat and cold, nociception for pain, and even interoception, which tells you things like when you're hungry or need to breathe. If we only had 5 senses, walking in a straight line or even staying alive would be a nightmare.
Yo, he's gonna get
So
hit by a
next time
car.
someone says-
No. I need to know what happened. Is he good? Also, what the hell is wrong with this kid? Why is he the only one with eyeballs? What the hell? And why is he the one with eyeballs and arms and stuff? All of them have stick arms.
As humans have 5
Are they supposed to be like a different race than him? He's supposed to be like a white kid, and these are supposed to be like different races.
senses, tell them they forgot at least 4 more, and that's being generous.
You should pee on jellyfish stings. Maybe you've done it, or maybe you've seen it in movies. Someone gets stung by a jellyfish, and their friend steps up with the ultimate survival move.
What is the dude in the background doing? What is the dude in the background doing? In my mind, that's her. That's a girl, and that's her boyfriend. And then this dude coming up, he's like, "I'm gonna fucking pee on you, girl."
Pee on the sting. Hollywood
Her boyfriend's like, "What?"
makes it look like a cure, but in reality, it can make things worse. Here's why.
This dude is so concerned about that because he just got peed on last night.
Jellyfish stings come from tiny venom-filled cells called nematocysts. When they fire, they inject venom into your skin, and some of these stingers can stick around, loaded and ready to go. The last thing you want is to trigger them again. And guess what urine can do? Depending on its salt concentration,
Now he's the one who got stung and he's getting peed on. The peeing animation is hilarious too.
and temperature, it can actually cause
Who pees like that? Who the hell pees like that?
those cells to release more venom. So congratulations, you've just
This is making me laugh.
been peed on and it now hurts more.
The dude standing up just doesn't give a fuck. He's just peeing.
The real fix? Rinse with seawater, not fresh water, because that also makes the stingers fire. And then soak the area in hot water. Heat
Okay.
helps break down the toxins and calm the pain.
That's good to know, probably, because I live near the ocean.
Or if you've got it, vinegar works for certain species. So next time you're at the beach and someone gets stung, skip the hero pee moment. Or once you've stepped up and done it, you can tell them it was actually pointless.
Chameleons don't try to camouflage. Everyone thinks
Yes, they do. This one is just wrong, probably.
Chameleons can just go invisible when they feel like it, blending into any background like some reptile magician. Green jungle? They turn green.
Yes.
Sandy desert? They go tan.
Yeah,
Sounds
exactly.
cool, but it's mostly a myth.
No, it's
Chameleons
not.
don't change color to vanish into the scenery. They do it to communicate and regulate
Well, no, they do not. This is horse shit. They do it to camouflage so they don't get eaten.
temperature. Those dramatic color shifts are basically just visual moods. Feeling
No,
aggressive?
it's not. These aren't a mood ring, bro. This dude doesn't know what he's talking about, I feel like. 'Cause I feel like this dude is wrong. This has to be not true. They camouflage all the time. I know that.
Bright colors. Relaxed? Duller shades. Hot and need to cool down? They lighten up to reflect heat. Cold? They go darker to soak up warmth. How do they pull it off? Their skin is packed with special cells called chromatophores and nanocrystals that reflect
I want that. That looks so cool. I want that. How do I get that? Can I get that plastic surgery?
light differently depending on how they expand or contract. This creates everything from subtle shade shifts to full-on rainbow displays.
Yo, he's gay.
But blending in like a perfect camouflage ninja? That's Hollywood magic. Sure,
What?
they might match some natural colors
No, it's not. Why are they lying about that?
by coincidence, but they're not out here repainting themselves in order to blend in and become
This guy I bet he's lying to get clicks on his video.
invisible.
Carrots give you night vision.
You've heard this one.
This one's wrong because I know this one. This one's wrong, but it is good for your eyesight still.
Forever. Eat your carrots and you'll be able to see in the dark. Sounds awesome, right? Sadly, it's pure myth with a little history twist. Carrots do have beta-carotene, which your body turns into vitamin A, and vitamin A is crucial for healthy eyes. But does it give you night vision
Boom.
powers? Not even close. If you're severely deficient in vitamin A, carrots will help restore normal vision, but they won't turn you into a nocturnal predator.
Thank you.
So where did this myth come from? Blame World War II propaganda. The British Royal Air Force had radar tech that let them spot enemy planes at night, but they didn't want Germany to know.
So they said they were eating a lot of carrots? That sounds so dumb, but like, honestly, I could see that working. They're like, yo, how did they see it? I bet they were eating a lot of carrots.
They claimed their pilots had super night vision because they ate tons of carrots. The story spread like wildfire, and people still believe it
Yo, this was made by ChatGPT. Now I realize where this animation is from. This is straight ChatGPT animation.
today. Carrots are great for you, but if you're hoping to ditch your headlights after a few carrots, forget it. The only thing carrots give you at night is orange teeth.
Blood is blue inside your veins.
I actually learned this one like one day ago. I looked it up on my phone because I was talking about it with my cousins when we were playing basketball.
You probably heard someone say, your blood is blue until it hits the air.
Yeah, the fucking know-it-alls, and they were wrong.
Makes sense if you've ever looked at your veins. They
Don't
look
show me
blue,
that.
right? But here's the truth. Human blood is never blue. Not in your veins.
I'm skipping
not in
this
your
one. I can't watch this one. That's my phobia is blood.
metaphor. Never wake a sleepwalker. If you've ever seen
And
someone
we already
sleepwalk,
knew the answer. We already knew the answer. Never wake a sleepwalker. This one's stupid. I don't care about this one.
you've
We'll
probably
watch
heard,
it.
don't wake them. It's dangerous. The story goes that if you wake them, they'll have a heart attack, go into shock, or lose their mind forever. Sounds
No.
terrifying, but it's pure myth. Waking up a sleepwalker won't kill them. It might confuse or startle them, but that's about it. Sleepwalking happens during deep sleep, so when you wake
I've sleepwalked one time before and I peed everywhere.
them, their brain is basically rebooting.
Comment down below if you've ever sleepwalked and done anything crazy.
They'll probably be groggy and have no idea what's going on, but they'll survive just fine. So where did this idea come from? Mostly old superstitions and fear of messing with sleep, because sleep has always seemed mysterious and sacred. The real danger isn't waking them, it's letting them roam. Sleepwalkers can do some pretty
Yeah, I was roaming and I peed everywhere.
risky things. Wander outside, climb stairs, even drive cars in rare cases.
No, they do not drive a car. You get in your car and start it when you're asleep? That would be kind of badass.
That's where people get
Maybe I should try that.
hurt. So, the best move? Gently guide them back to bed if you can. If that's not possible, just wake them. Lightning never strikes the same place twice. You've
I've never even heard of this one.
probably heard this one as a metaphor for rare events. Lightning never strikes the same place twice. Sounds dramatic, like nature's got a rule book. But here's the truth.
Dude, this script is straight out of ChatGPT. That's what I'm just realizing right now. This script is straight 100% out of ChatGPT. The animation is ChatGPT. The script straight out of ChatGPT. I swear ChatGPT has literally told me something like this before in the exact same wording.
Lightning doesn't care about sayings. It
Like
actors
hold
got
on,
it.
listen to this.
Lightning never strikes the same place twice. Sounds dramatic, like
This part, this small little part, this is how you can tell it's ChatGPT, because ChatGPT always tries to be witty in like this exact same way.
nature's got a rule book.
Like nature's got a rule book. Yeah, it tries to be like funny like that. But you can tell it's not because it's just so robotic.
But here's the truth. Lightning doesn't care about sayings. It absolutely strikes the same place over and over. In fact, tall structures like skyscrapers, radio
How many views does this video have? 1.6 million views, and this is 100% AI. I guarantee you this is 100% AI. This dude's making bank off of just using AI, guys. You can make bank just using AI YouTube videos, putting that out there.
towers, and even trees are magnets for lightning. The Empire State Building gets hit about 20 to 25 times every single year. Why? Because lightning takes the path of least resistance. And a big
This one's
metal
just
tower
kind of
sticks
obvious and stupid. Like, yeah, obviously it's going to strike twice. It's just a saying, I bet.
into the sky is basically an invitation. So the next time someone drops that phrase, remember, lightning's not picky. If you're standing in the wrong spot during a storm, it might strike you twice just to prove a point. Sharks can smell a drop of blood from miles away.
Wait, this one's not true? I've always believed this. I've always believed this.
You've seen this scene in every shark movie. One tiny drop of blood hits the water, and miles away, a great white goes into a frenzy, zeroing in like it has some sort of GPS.
Why can
Sounds
he stop
terrifying,
bleeding?
right? But in reality, that's
Ugh.
Hollywood drama, not science. Sharks do
Stop.
have an amazing sense of smell. One of
I'm not even like putting on a performance right now. I'm not trying to be performative like that. Oh, it actually,
the best
I
in the
can't, D.
animal
I
kingdom.
can't, bro.
But the whole miles away idea is massively overblown. In truth, they can detect blood at concentrations of about 1 part per million.
Oh my
That's ins-
gosh. What did he just say? 1 part per million?
In truth, they can detect blood at concentrations of about 1 part per million.
What does
That's
that mean?
insanely good, but it translates to something like a drop of blood in an Olympic-sized swimming pool, not the
Oh,
entire
okay.
ocean.
Okay.
And even then, currents, tides, and water movement scatter
Is it
scent
bleeding
quickly.
still?
So no, if you cut your finger in
Ugh,
Hawaii, a
stop
shark in
bleeding.
California isn't coming for you. They're impressive predators, but they're not horror movie level. Still, probably don't test this by
Stop
bleeding in
bleeding.
the water, because if a shark's nearby, it's definitely going to notice.
Humans swallow 8 spiders a year while sleeping.
I've heard this and it used to make me weirded out.
You've probably heard this creepy fact. Every year, while you sleep, 8 spiders crawl into your
Why
mouth.
is this dude talking? Doesn't even line up. Like this video is completely ChatGPT.
Fact. Every year, while you sleep, 8 spiders crawl into your mouth. Picture that. Mid-dream,
The animation is so bad. This AI slop is terrible. I'm not gonna stop watching the video, but it's complete. Look at the window right here. Look at the window. You can 100% tell he had ChatGPT generate a picture, then he put it into another AI software that animates the picture, and the picture that you can't do ChatGPT pictures that are this wide, so he had it do this and it cut out right here.
and a spider decides to crawl in your open mouth. Or
Dude got 1.6 million views off of this slop, bro. Crazy.
down one of your nostrils. It sneaks past your lips, sets up camp, and disappears forever. Terrifying, right? Good news? It's total nonsense. Spiders don't want to go anywhere near your mouth. Think about it. Warm, wet, vibrating, and full of teeth. That's basically their worst nightmare.
Why? Why would that be their worst nightmare?
The vibrations of your breathing, your snoring, even your heartbeat send them running the other way.
Really? I've woken up to bugs on me before, though.
They hunt where it's quiet and still, not on top of
Oh.
a snoring giant who might squish them at any second. So, where
I feel like they're not that smart, though. They will just walk on you just because they're not that smart.
did this nightmare come from? The reason that the average human swallows 8 a year is because one guy is skewing the odds and eating 64 billion to mess with the rest of us.
No, he is not. That is just a joking around. No, he's not.
In reality, the odds of swallowing even one spider in your life are microscopic, unless you're doing it on purpose. So relax. There's nothing sneaking into your mouth at night unless you're that one guy. Pirates made people walk
That one guy is crazy if he's real.
the plank. Every
Dude, this one's true, I bet.
pirate movie has it.
Like, look, bro, the plank isn't even, like, connected to the boat. It's just, like, a plank. Your AI slot bores me.
The dramatic moment where the villain waves a sword and snarls, "Walk the plank." The crew gathers, they beat the drums, and the victim does that slow, trembling tiptoe toward the edge. He splashes into the shark-infested waters while everyone cheers. It's iconic, but almost entirely fake.
Yeah, right.
Historical records show little to no evidence of real pirates
My fingers smell good.
using this method. Why?
That was random,
Because
sorry.
pirates weren't putting on Broadway shows, they were running a business. Time was money, and forcing someone to balance on a board was just unnecessary. If
So they would just throw them overboard?
wanted you gone, they'd toss you overboard, stab you, or ransom you. Fast,
Oh, smart. What? Ransom? For who? Who would ransom a pirate?
simple, and terrifying in its own way. Walking the plank didn't really pop up until the 19th century in literature and stage plays, and then Hollywood ran wild with it. So the truth? You weren't taking
Like, whoever even did that, I've never even seen the Jack Sparrow movies. Is that what happens in those?
a theatrical stroll to your death. You were getting shoved, or shanked, then shoved. Less cinematic, but the outcome was the same. You
Getting stabbed would be like the worst way to die, I feel like. Ugh.
lose most body heat through your head. You've probably heard this one from every
I've heard this actually so many times, even from my parents.
parent ever.
Yes.
Wear a hat or you'll freeze. Most
Yes.
of your body heat escapes through your head. Sounds legit, right? It even
Yes.
sounds scientific, like your head is some kind of chimney that blasts heat into the
Because it has the most of your stuff that's important on it. It has your mouth, your nose, your ears, your eyes, your brain, etc.
cold winter air. But it's a
Your
myth
hair and your neck.
born from bad science. The idea came from a 1950s military experiment where soldiers in freezing conditions wore winter gear, except on their heads. Of course, they lost more heat there. That was the only bare skin exposed. The truth is,
Yeah, that's a stupid experiment.
heat escapes from any uncovered skin, and it's proportional to the surface area. Your head is only about 10% of your body, so unless you're some kind of giant floating head, it's not where
That is not what I am, so I'm good.
you're losing most of your
Right
warmth.
on.
If you went outside naked wearing just a hat, you'd still freeze in minutes. Of course, a
Right.
hat still helps in winter, but so do pants, gloves, socks, and literally anything else covering your
Okay,
skin.
this would make
If you wanna
sense. So
stay
there,
warm,
people
dress like a
who are doing the
Owls
experiment are just stupid.
wise. Owls have been the animal symbol
This one isn't even like a fact people believed. This is just from like Winnie the Pooh that there was a smart owl.
for wisdom forever. Ancient Greece made them Athena's mascot, storybooks give them glasses, and cartoons treat them like professors. They're perched on the shoulders of wizards, dishing out advice in magical forests, and for centuries we've treated them like nature's philosophers. But in
Bro, this script is completely ChatGPT. It's crazy how I can just tell that because that's how much I've used it.
reality, owls aren't the geniuses of the bird world. They're more like the strong, silent type. Yes, they're incredible hunters, but that's instinct, not IQ. They're night assassins, not professors. Compare them to crows or ravens, which can solve puzzles, recognize human faces, and even use tools, and owls look kind of clueless. Crows can drop nuts on crosswalks so cars crack them open. Owls? They just sit there looking mysterious. Their huge eyes.
Wait, crows can do that? They drop a peanut and then a car will break it so it can eat the peanut? Are you serious?
Cars crack them open. Owls? They just sit there looking mysterious. Their huge eyes and fixed stare make them seem deep and thoughtful. But that's just biology, not them being all deep. So next time you see an owl
No, there is something weird about owls though. There's something like human about owls. If you've ever seen an owl, you know what I'm talking about. They're not right.
staring into the distance, it's not thinking about life's big questions. It's thinking mouse or frog. Chickens
Bro, this script is completely ChatGPT.
can live without their heads for a few seconds. Everyone knows the phrase, running around like a headless chicken. But
This is
most people think
true.
the story ends in seconds. You chop off the head, a little flapping, and then done.
This is true.
But the truth is way stranger. Sometimes that headless chicken doesn't just twitch, it keeps on living. Not for
Oh,
seconds, not
wait, no, that's what I meant. Yeah, they keep living is what I meant.
even for minutes,
Seriously.
but for hours. In one famous case from 1945, a chicken named Mike lived for 18 months after losing his head.
What?
How is that even possible?
That's
Turns out
crazy.
the brainstem, which controls basic life functions like breathing and heartbeat, can stay intact if the cut is high enough. So Mike's body
That's
just kept going.
insane.
Farmers fed
So you have to cut it very close to the body. Okay, well, good to know if I ever get chickens.
him through an eyedropper straight into his throat, and he became a national celebrity, traveling the U.S. as the Headless Wonder Chicken.
That's crazy.
Think about that for a second. You're looking at a chicken with no face, no eyes, no beak, just a body and a pulse.
That's terrifying.
Was he aware? Could he feel anything? Or was it pure instinct driving him on?
That is terrifying, bro. Like, what would that be like? Would it, like, if animals have consciousness, would he still have consciousness then?
Scientists aren't sure, and honestly, I couldn't tell you either.
Who is this guy? This guy isn't ChatGPT. Who is this guy?
I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give
That's
me
supposed to be
video
him?
ideas.
All right. Please and thank you for enjoying this video. I'll take over for him. Please and thank you for enjoying this video, and goodbye.